The following program contains frank and explicit freedom of speech. Viewer discretion is advised.
But my wife wanted to bring some things to you guys, and I'm going to let her talk from this point on.
I need to bring y'all back. I'm going to bring you back because you heard my husband's point of view and his heartfelt expression of his journey from the husband and father. But you haven't heard from the wife and mother. Thank you, Rabbit. You haven't heard the wife and mother. And I want to say some things because now that I know that y'all can see our videos, now that I know that it's not being hidden, because one thing I'm very clear about, and I know for sure, when God opens a door, nobody could shut it. I remember the day my husband snapped. I remember. We've been married this May for 19 years. Miracle, trust me. Especially during this journey, especially since then. It's a miracle that we sitting here talking to y'all on this channel and these platforms. It's a miracle. But I remember the day that you lost it. It was right before we were, and I'm going to tell y'all a lot of the story, and we have it videotaped, and we're going to be bringing a lot because it's been a lot of work and a labor of love. And I'm going to say it now before I forget. I know that is the reason now that he's not Tatum, which is his father's last name. We're Lamb, which is his mother's stepfather's name, not even her name. But we're Lamb because he's Lamb. Because our life has become sacrificial. We've been put on the line and put in the front line. Somebody said, thank you for holding the line. Exactly right. When we were living with his mother, because we needed to leave the house that we were in, it's a family house. They wanted the house back. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm not going to say that our story is for everybody. I'm very aware. And the fact that we know that a lot of this has to do with our destiny and our purpose. But it does not negate the garbage that this country and under this administration has done. It doesn't negate it. We were living with his mom, which was, if you can imagine, okay? After years and years of building credit, finally able to do something. We worked 2 jobs. This man has worked 3 and 4 jobs at a time with 2 quote unquote, what they call special needs kids. And we worked our butts off. And we wanted to leave, yes, but we didn't know it was going to happen that way.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was going to happen that way. Be careful what you pray for because you don't know how the answer is going to come. But we were in Bloomfield, New Jersey. And it was after, it was stressful. It was already a stressful and highly stressed time. It was very highly stressed. It was a terrible time. And we went to go and visit my in-laws. And we went to get some food in between work. Because when I'm not exaggerating, when I say we were always working. This man does not sleep like a normal person. Anybody that knows an entrepreneur, somebody that starts in business, you're working overtime. You're always at your craft, always. So we went to go get some food. And at that day, he was just done. It was like, one more thing. If one more thing happened, I'm a snap. And that's what happened. We're near Bloomfield Avenue. We're getting some food and we pulled over and I'm waiting. I was driving because he can't stand. He drove for years. Uber, Lyft, picking up customers, driving for the truck, which a lot of y'all saw from that Tim Pool video in 2020. So I drove and we're behind this guy who's moving his car. I have the blinkers on. I'm close enough to the car to clearly show that I'm about to take the park, but far enough away not to get hit. We're there. And some fool comes and makes a U-turn and pulls right in the park. They just pulled right in the park. And I'm like, oh my God. And then my husband loses it. He gets out of the car And he goes to this person, because at the time we didn't know it was a man, to his truck. Nobody, and I'm telling you, this is not even his temperament generally. Now, it has been over the years during high pressure times like we've been in, but he would not generally just up and do something like that. He went to the man's window. He bangs on his window and says, I know you saw us sitting behind that car. I know you did. And I'm like, Gary, please, it's not that serious. He was fouled for that, but it's not that serious. And he's telling me, no, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this. And he's banging on this man's car. And this is, well, I'm going to say it this way. All the keyboard warriors, I'm not talking about the supporters. I'm talking about the ones that you would look the other way if we were with you in Walmart. Mm. You wouldn't even blink in our direction, but you're so bold behind the camera. That's what happens with a lot of the left. They talk so much. Got so much to say. You backing somebody that's literally making this country hell. And many of us have lived in hell. As much as we can be equivalent to it, we've lived it. I'm serious. And I'm begging him, babe, you don't know this guy. He could be nuts. He could pull out a gun. He could do anything. And he's like, I don't care. He's banging on his window. I thought he's going to break the man's window. Fast forward. We're staying at my mother-in-law's house and doing everything. Okay. I took 2 jobs. So my husband could, and it's the second time during this journey, I took 2 jobs so my husband can work on this channel. Why? Because we know, we believe it with all our hearts that God put him here. He put us in front of this camera. So this is what we've done. And he's sitting in her kitchen making videos in a household that at that time had a newborn baby, crying all day, all night. Our kids were being homeschooled because we were trying to get out of New Jersey. They fought us because they didn't, because you know, if you have so-called a quote unquote a special needs child that has an IEP, they get money for them.
Yep.
And our kids were phasing out. There was one that mastered everything and they did not want to let him go. We're having all of these other pressures. A married couple living in somebody else's house, sleeping on their floor on an air mattress. And we lose our car. I'm at Walmart getting groceries. And I don't care no more about what nobody thinks, because I'm not the kind of person to show emotion that way. My husband is. He has a very soft heart in a lot of ways. And you've called me the guard dog. Yeah. So I don't show it.
Yeah.
But y'all need to know the real, what it takes to just go live and make a video. He's making thumbnails and he edits and does it all. We're there. I'm at Walmart. I'm getting groceries, picking them up. And I feel someone hit what I thought hit the car. This is a vehicle that we purchased. If y'all see the other videos, purchased it when my husband had excellent, pristine credit. And they were throwing money at him because we worked so hard. He worked his butt off to have excellent credit, because this country, that's all they run off of, debt. So we had this car, got approved for it, got the car, and it was the journey. That's what we believe in our hearts was the name of that vehicle to get us here to Oklahoma. But we lose the car. I'm calling my husband. I'm so sorry. What's wrong? Because we were on 1,000. If you've ever gone through any traumatic event, everything is an emergency. So his wife calls him and he's frantic. God bless that man. The tow truck guy put all of my groceries in his truck and drove me to Newark where his mom was living. And he's like, what happened? They took the car. We're telling this person, we'll get the money to you. We're on the phone. Long story short, that was a nightmare. And we went live that week, walking up and down South Orange Avenue to go to that place to go get our stuff. It was just the worst, because it was like one thing happens, we're doing well, then it's like the floor gets pulled, the rug gets pulled from under you. We go on live. Another time I felt my husband break. And I'm seeing all of his work, all of the years of his work be stripped from him. I'm up with him 3:00 in the morning, driving him to his job when he worked for the truck in New Jersey with that slumlord of a boss. I said it. He was greedy, and I pray that his heart has changed since then, because this country makes a lot of people feel nothing but pressure to be able to eat, to have a loaf of bread to feed your family under this administration. Go bring him to work at 4:00 in the morning so he can work on a freezing cold truck, picking up cases and packs and packs of what was that, flour, and cases of, working, breaking his back. He got in an accident, almost lost his life. The truck flipped over. Some psycho on Route 3 in New Jersey looking at him like he was crazy when that man was the one with road rage. Had to go to court telling this man, and I had all the documents, and the judge is like, wait a minute. Who's suing who? Yeah. And I'm like, you read that right. The man that hit my husband that almost killed him is trying to sue him. And what did he do that day? He went back to work. I want to know of those that really went through something. Because it's one thing, and I'm not saying that you haven't. Like a woman I know says, don't hear what I'm not saying, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying you haven't, but how much are you willing to suffer? How much? How much? This week, when he made that video that y'all just saw on YouTube, this was this week, just a couple days ago. I'm not talking about last month. A couple days ago, he said, God, I'm going to make one more. Because it's been one more video, just one more for weeks, right? Months. And he said, I'm going to make one more. And then that's it. I'm going to get a job. Because I'm telling you, see, some people you can say whatever you want. We're people of faith around here. So when you know God has led you in a certain way, you'll be a fool. And we have been.
Yeah.
To go and do what you want to do when you know God have called you to do something else. So you try to submit to that. It was horrible. You try to submit and be obedient to something that is ripping you apart, driving you literally insane. Those were your words. Not long ago, you said, this is driving you insane. That it was, and it was. And he said, one more video. I'm going to make one more. I'm going to try it one more time. I appreciate you. And I'm going to quote all of y'all as much as I can. One of the guys here commented, said, it's not that your content is not crap. It's not that it's crap. It's that you were shadow banned. How do you have almost 150,000 subscribers? And it's people, I'm looking at them. Oh my gosh, Gary, I haven't seen none of your videos since 2020. I haven't seen none of them. And I'm up with this man 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 in the morning. And we have kids. We're all in here listening to him making videos, coming here making videos with him. Before moving here, living with someone else who was kind enough to allow us to stay with them, making videos all day, all night, in the truck, as much as we could, pushing at this. Sorry. And you mean to tell me they haven't seen one video? Not one. And all of this was because these crazy people bullied somebody and told them, I can only imagine the threats. I can only imagine. They don't care. What Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. That's all of us. They do not care. This crazy person is letting illegal people come into this country, assaulting them, taking them out. You hear me? We're about to do a video later about people that are getting bumped off, y'all. They're losing their lives. We travel together all the time. I'm not allowed to go anywhere by myself now. Because you got to have wisdom up in this piece. I'm not saying nobody's afraid around. I'm not afraid. but you also use your good sense and use some wisdom.
And
you sitting here and these crazy feminazis running their mouths, you're supporting these people. You talking about blind leading the blind. It's mass deception. You don't know when somebody's lying to you in your face. They're lying in our faces. They're playing in our face. How in the world can you tell me you're going to vote for somebody who's in the second seat in the office right now? It's not like when they get in the office, they're in the office right now. They're in the same team and you're supporting them. I have a sweet aunt, one day, maybe y'all meet her. She's the sweetest pie, as they say. Never heard her raise her voice, nothing. Sweet, in her late 40s. But one day she was driving, a mom and a wife, and she was venting in her quiet way. And she said, I just couldn't believe it. What kind of stupid are you? Of the situation that she was talking about. What kind of stupid are you? And I don't call people names. I don't use profanity. I try really hard. I pray really hard at really this because we got to kill this every day.
Yes. Yep.
Really hard. I don't talk about people, but what kind of stupid are you that they're lying to you in your face? People have lost their livelihood and their actual lives behind this mess. Every other month, this man was losing it. I'm telling you, I'm his wife. I'm telling you, half of our lives we've been together, losing it. We sitting behind the camera, and then I'm hush for a minute, behind the camera in his mom's house. And we're like, we got to go. I'm like, y'all, I would never tell you. Because my husband's an open book. I'm not. I would never tell y'all what's going on. This is a wig. My health went downhill. Reoccurring illness, and it got worse during this time. Stress does a lot of things to people. And he's freaking out because they're thinking they're going to bury me soon. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm telling you the effects of what happens when you follow a liar. Please use your good sense. That's the only reason why he started following Trump, because you cannot dispute the facts and the reality. Our lives changed for the better under his administration. Our lives changed for the absolute detriment and worse under theirs.
Can't dispute that.
Point blank. That's what happened. And last, and then I'm a hush, and then I'll come back after and talk about these comments because I want to read them. We're in his mom's house making videos again. And he's like, so he's having a mental breakdown, right? And I'm there and I'm like, babe, we're going to get through this. It's only but so much. Caretakers get sick too. And I'm like, we're going to get through this. I didn't have any encouragement left because, I mean, faith means that you don't see it. You hope it. And I had no tangible proof that it was getting any better. And it was getting worse before our eyes. And my husband's like, that's it. We were on go. We've been on go. You made a comment, and I'll tell the story about before we left from Jersey. You made a comment, like I think it was last summer, because we always work. Some people care more about, and I'm talking about the DNC, care more about migrants than they did. And many people have said this. I'm reading comments all over social media. It's like, it looks like you care more about migrants and people that are not naturally born here than people that have put their blood, sweat, and tears into this country, into our lives here. And I'm saying it looks like, I'm sure you don't care. I'm not being emotional about it. I'm not delusional about it at all. I'm sure you do not care. That was the plan. And my husband's like, man, it's like we're the ones that are on a work visa up in this piece. Like, we're the ones on the work visa, always at work, never being able to enjoy holidays like other people because we're always working. We were always working for the past 4 years. Always. I'm not exaggerating. From sun up till sundown and in the middle, working in the car, driving to pick up somebody, doing shopping orders, something on this channel, making videos, working, driving an hour and a half out and an hour and a half back, cleaning pools. I worked at the airport. I had 2 jobs when we got here. Around the clock. And you're voting for people that's giving away $13,000 of SNAP benefits and food and letting them come over here for free. $150,000 of loan money to get a house. And we've been working since before we could drive. People that have worked their whole lives that can't get a house here or have a house and can't pay their mortgage and get regular groceries. And you voting for people that's giving it to them for free. It's actually on the table in our country. The paperwork is actually on the table. A conversation is on the table that is even suggesting that these people that just got here don't have to vote with an ID. And we were born here. And you voting for them? You voting for murder? You voting to lose our families? What kind of stupid are you? Seriously.
We're going to still need some help getting there. We're around, what? We're in Kentucky, in the middle of Kentucky. We got about like 12 hours to go. That's about 779 miles. So if you want to help support us, go ahead and hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, so we can get it immediately. I don't know what video is on one of these videos. You can if just go to one of my previous videos if you want to help support. I appreciate you guys. But this is because of y'all, man. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for y'all. Look at this land. Look at this land. Look. Look at that land right there.